الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله يا الله صلاة على الصلاة صلاة الصلاة صلاة الصلاة وأكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
minum air kan batuk-batuk aman قال لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Teruskan Sofyan, have the views on the end of the line, inshallah. Allahu Akbar. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. كتب عليكم القتال وهو كره لكم وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم وعسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو شر لكم والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. يسألونك عن الشهر الحرام قتال فيه قل قتال فيه كبير وصد عن سبيل الله وكفر به والمسجد الحرام وإخراج أهله منه أكبر عند الله والفتنة أكبر من القتل ولا يزالون يقاتلونكم حتى يردوكم عن دينكم استطاعوا ومن يرتد منكم عن دينه فيمت وهو كافر فأولئك حبطت أعمالهم في الدنيا والآخرة وأولئك أصحاب النار خالدون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إن الذين آمنوا والذين هاجروا وجاهدوا في سبيل الله أولئك يرجون رحمة الله والله غفور رحيم. يسألونك عن الخمر والميسر قل فيهما إثم كبير ومنافع للناس وإثمهما أكبر من نفعهما ويسألونك ماذا ينفقون قل العفو كذلك يبين الله لكم الآيات لعلكم تتفكرون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا شر ما قضيت إنك ولا يقضى عليك إنه لا يذل من واليت تبارك ربنا وتعالى. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. استغفر الله. استغفر الله. أعوذ بالله. الله السلام السلام اللهم الله نقول الحمد لله وعلى كل شيء قدير ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. بسم الله الحمد لله صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our prayers and accept our du'as. Ya Rabbil Alameen. تقبل الله منا ومنكم. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless our families and our homes. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive us for our shortcomings. We ask you, Allah, to bless our days as we start the morning strong with Salat al-Subh Jama'ah. Alhamdulillah. Today, inshallah ta'ala, I still reflect on the Istiqlal of Syria, the victory of Syria, the independence of Syria from Mordecai and Syria, and there's lots of lessons to learn from that. As I mentioned, one of the commentators in the Quran, they talk about once the oppressor, once the Panjaja has been uprooted, has been taken away, say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Right? Some commentators say that it is wajib for you to say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, for you to do takbir, and so on and so forth, as a sign of victory. Right? Because you show your victory that it only comes from Allah. And this is هذا من فضل ربي. This is only by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone that you got this kumurteka, you got this victory. Right? Last week we went over. I was at a gathering with at a Muslim gathering with a sheikh. Alhamdulillah. We went over. There's a collection of hadith about al-arba'un fi Sham. So 40 hadiths, when you hear about 40 hadiths, usually about Imam Nawawi's al-arba'un. Right? The 40 hadith by Imam Nawawi, which talks about the holistic experience of what Islam is. إنما الأعمال بالنيات. Islam starts with intention. Islam starts with prioritizing what is important. You leave what is confusing to what is not confusing, and so forth. I wanted to talk about what I alhamdulillah, what we can gain from the 40 hadith of Sham. Sham, what is Sham? Sham, negara, Syria, Palestina, Jordan. This is in the Arabic language, Sham. This region is called Sham. Right? So in English, the Levant, Levantine, the Levant, Sham. Right? The orang Sham, yeah, even before modern state, it was never split between Palestine and Syria and Lebanon. Right? It was all one, the land of Sham. So now you know where the land of Sham is. Right? And so even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says many virtues about Sham, many virtues about the area of Syria, where even he states, the land of my Sham. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, the land of my Sham, the land of my Yemen. Shamuna wa Yamanuna. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, my Sham, our Sham, and our Yemen, there is big significance in the people of Sham, in the land of Sham itself. I wanted to state about one thing that we can learn is Kubraniyan, courage of them. And one of the Sahabas that is mentioned here is Khalid bin Walid. Who is Khalid bin Walid? He is Sayfullah. Sayfullah is the Padang. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is the sword of Allah. What can we learn from the sword of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's something really interesting here. He says, Khalid bin Walid is known as the greatest military commander of all time. The Sayfullah. He accepted Islam after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah and participated in battles thereafter. And he says that Kesatuan Arab, Arabia was united under a single political entity for the first time in history. Right? Because the different tribes, the different people, they always fought against each other. That was the way of the Arabs. Always one gang versus another gang. This person versus that people. But under Khalid bin Walid, radiallahu anh, he's the one that united the Arabs for the first time in history. Allah. And he's one of the 3 military generals in history to remain undefeated. Setiap kali Khalid bin Walid masuk peperangan tidak pernah kalah. Tidak pernah kalah. He passed away in the 21st Hijri, so 21 years after the Hijrah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He's buried in Homs, the city in Syria. And his tombstone, when you have, for example, Ahmad Qashidi, born 1993, death 2024, for example, right? On his tombstone, there's 50 battles that it shows of where he was victorious in. Right? 50 battles that he was victorious in. Without defeat. Right? So it's buried in a mosque in Homs. Inshallah, we can have the ability to visit Syria, inshallah, and to pray in the masjid over there, because Syria is a land of Hadar and Ariqa. Lots of history, lots of learning, the place of ulama, the place of civilization, and we want to visit these places to understand what has happened here as Muslims. And so for Khalid bin Walid, the idea of Kubraniyan, the idea of courage, what can we take from here? It is well known that, I'm reading from the Arba'in Sham, the 40 hadiths on Sham, it's written by a contemporary scholar. It is well known that Khalid had wanted to die as a martyr. Saya mau meninggal sebagai orang syahid. Saya mau mati syahid. When was the last time you heard someone say that? I want to die as a martyr. We want to die as a martyr. We spoke previously that the one who is feeding their family, the one who is working to provide for the family, the one who is providing for their children, fi sabilillah fahuwa shaheed. That the one who works and provides and lives and dies on that path is also a shaheed. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that, for us. So Khalid also wanted to die as a martyr. But he was really fighting fights. Right? He was fighting fights as well. And he was upset when he realized that he would die on top of his bed. He wanted to die in the battlefield, but he realized that at the very end of his life, he would die on the bed. He expressed this. Dia rasa kecewa. Dia tahu, saya meninggalnya di atas kasur, bukan di medan perang. Kecewanya itu meninggalnya di kasur, bukan di medan perang. He expressed this through one last anguished sentence. So this is the expression of Khalid bin Walid. I have fought in so many battles seeking martyrdom that there is no spot in my body without a scar or a wound made by a spear or a sword. Jadi saking banyak perangnya itu mana-mana ada luka everywhere. And yet here I am. So you can imagine Khalid bin Walid on his deathbed like this, sambil tiduran. And yet here I am, dying on my bed like an old camel. I'm dying on my bed like an old camel. Jadi nggak ada daya lagi. Tidak ada daya lagi. May the eyes of the cowards never rest. Semoga pengecut-pengecut tidak ada istirahat lagi. Bahasanya. Yang mengancam orang-orang pengecut untuk tidak ada istirahat lagi. Okay. This is the word of the Sahaba. Okay. This is the words of someone who has the courage and who lived around the Prophet. This is what we need in the times of courage, keberanian. Perlu keberanian untuk sholat masjid. Perlu keberanian untuk mendidik anak. Perlu keberanian untuk menghadapi kezaliman. Perlu keberanian untuk berubah status hidup. This is what we need in times as we need today, as we see in Syria, as how we see it all over the world. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the syuja' dalam bahasa Indonesia adalah keberanian. Syuja'. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the courage of Khalid bin Walid, Ya Allah. Yes, Ya Allah, so that we are likened to the sword of Allah, Ya Allah. We ask you, Ya Allah, to keep us firm upon Islam, Ya Allah. We ask you, Ya Allah, to keep us firm upon Islam wherever we are, Ya Allah. We ask you, Ya Allah, so that we have the courage in our homes, Ya Allah. We have the courage in our families, Ya Allah. We have the courage in our societies, Ya Allah. We have courage in America, Ya Allah. We ask you, Ya Allah, for allowing us to live with this courage from now until the day of judgment. Ya Allah, Ameen. وقنا عذاب النار صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه جزاكم الله خيرا.
Salam dari jemaah di LA, Pak Ustadz. Apa kabar di Texas? Untuk saudara-saudaraku di Los Angeles dan sekitarnya, Istiqamah di Masjid At-Thohir masih jam 5.45. Fajar prayer still 5:45 AM. Insyaallah in a few days maybe going to be 6 o'clock. Dianjurkan untuk para suami atau laki-laki yang tinggal di sekitar Los Angeles untuk sholat subuh berjamaah di masjid. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oh,